What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to an episode of P&Q, the question and answer series where you get to ask me questions, anything you like, or put comments to me, anything you want. And I'll answer the following week. So you can do this one of three ways. You can pop your comments or questions down below in that section where you've left quite a few this week, which is cool. Or you can email me at miniwarzone@gmail.com. You'll get an anonymous response if you do this for whatever reason. That's just an option for you. Or you can make a video of your own and ask me a question in that. I've not picked up any of those for a while, but I'll keep them out there just in case. So I have questions, but they're on my laptop at the moment, so I didn't have the chance to print them off. So sorry about that. So you will see me looking to left to read the questions. I just haven't had time to get the questions printed off so I can read them in front of me like this. I could put the laptop in front of me, but I have to move a bunch of stuff. Already my bench is becoming messy and I will tidy it after this. That's going to be a promise to myself. Ooh, nice cup of coffee. I haven't stopped this morning. Been on the go. Lots of things happening. Right, anyway. I have 2 emails this week. And it's a really busy week for questions, which is really cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. The more questions, the better. I will start with questions. It would be 4 pages now. But I'll start with emails first. Okay, like I said, I don't have any questions that were asked of me on someone else's video on their series. So, you know, it may happen. First email says, "Hi Pete, classic Volkswagen Beetle or Mini?" That's a good question. You know me well, sir. Presuming, of course, you don't mean modern Mini. You've got classic Volkswagen Beetle. And I say Volkswagen as opposed to Volkswagen. Or I'm not very good at pronunciation, especially when it comes to foreign words, phrases and sayings. So, classic Volkswagen Beetle or Mini? Or I say classic Mini. You mean classic Beetle or Mini? Depends if it's a Mini Cooper or just a bog standard one. I actually had a bog standard Mini when I was younger, when I was a young man. It wasn't my first car, but you know, it was a good car. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had lots of fun. I don't know what context you mean, if you mean models or real life, but it's about the same anyway. I would say the Beetle just has it for me, just on looks. It's just, I mean, the Mini Cooper is super cool as well, but the Beetle just picks it to the post. I don't like the modern versions of either of those 2 cars. They're horrible and don't do them justice at all, but I'll say Volkswagen Beetle. Last email says, "Hey there Pete, YouTuber, gamer and hobbyist, lol. I would just like to say that I very much enjoy your videos on terrain making. Do you plan on doing more of them, or do you prefer the painting type tutorials?" That's a good question too. I don't think I actually prefer either. I enjoy them equally the same. So yeah, I'd have to say this, I like them equally. But yes, I plan on doing more. Once I've got these White Men Expedition painted up, the next lot I do, I'll be a lot more familiar with how I'm painting them, and I will do a tutorial on how I paint various, I don't know, tribal characters or whatever, or white men characters. Who knows? But yeah. So I don't have a preference, but I do plan on doing more tutorials. I do plan on doing more of them, but the hard part for me is thinking of what to do a tutorial on. I've got a couple of ideas in mind lined up for the future, so that's going to be cool. So I'm alright for the next couple of tutorials at least. So, but I am always searching for ideas. Okay, let's go on with the questions from last week then. And okay, first one comes from Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak. Hey Brian, he says, "Happy New Year. Hey, Are you adding any new video series for 2017? Just curious. Take care, and I hope you and yours have a very healthy, safe 2017. Then he goes on to say, you answered the question at the end of the video, haha. Well, I didn't. I kind of answered it. I am planning on doing more. By the time you are watching this, you will have noticed a new playlist already, a new series, Black Powder ACW. So yeah, so that's a new one. That's going to be running alongside Congo for the forthcoming. I am going to be doing obviously 40k as well. Oh, excuse me, you're coming on. Oh, stop it. Right, okay, but yes, and there are going to be more possibly. You know me. Super Wargamer is next. He says, LMAO. Good call, lol, good call. I think you were talking about psychic powers from the last Q&A. But thank you, sir. Next we have Crunch Silicus, and he says, Happy New Year to you, Pete. Happy New Year to you, Mike. I hope you have a great 2017, both hobby-wise and otherwise. What's going to be your next army for 2017? Wow. Wow. Whoa. Now that's a massive question. My next army, as in army, it's going to be well, it'll be Confederates and Union for American Civil War, but I don't know which one will come first, or whether I'll amass them at the same time. I honestly don't know. Other things I've got in mind, I'm toying with the idea of making my own Space Marine chapter, because that seems super fun. At the same time, I kind of like the idea of doing Imperial Fists. Oh, I don't know, you know, but I'll hedge my bets safely and say American Civil War, both sides, Confederate and Union. Congo isn't really large enough to call them armies; they're more factions. So, other than that, but if you were referring to smaller groups as well, I would say more white men expeditions for Congo. But anyway, yeah, but thanks for your question. That's a great question, Mike, thank you. I love questions where you can sit back and think, ooh, what would it be? Yes, very good indeed. Okay, James and his stuff says, good vid. Thank you. Sorry, I got the sniffles. You do some good vids too lately, James. Enjoy watching them. Loved your live playthrough, although I wasn't watching it live, I was watching it after the fact. You know, your Lost Patrol and your Space Hulk and that. I was surprised at how quick Lost Patrol is. It's quite a quick, fast-paced game, and that's pleasantly surprising. It's good to see that. Because it makes you think, ooh, mind getting that, you know. But yeah, looks like a good game. And Space Hulk, anything Space Hulk I love, so yeah, you're on to a winner there. Laugh a lot. I don't recognise that name. He says, I gotta say, this man cave is more like a man's grave. I don't know what context you mean by that. Do you mean my man cave here, your man cave there? And do you mean it's a grave as in I've got all my stuff with me, I'm going to be buried with it? Or I'm going to spend so much time out here, I'm just going to die here? I don't know. God, that was a strange experience. I've gone off on a tangent. Looking out my window, there's a pigeon perched on a pole, like an old washing pole over next door. And the way he was perched and his head forward, and he looked like a vulture for a split second. It looks like a pigeon again now. Anyway, you see how quickly my attention span goes? Just, oh yeah. Ooh, oh. But anyway, yes. So man's grave. I don't know. if this was my grave, I'd be happy. If I'm to die out here, so be it. I'll die a happy man. Thank you for your comment, laugh a lot. Tattoo for you says, great new year, P&Q brother. Time for a stellar new year. Any one thing you want to do over the next month or two that isn't hobby related? Isn't hobby related. Anything I want to do that isn't hobby related? Well, I want to finish decorating my bedroom at home. All that's left is the ceiling to paint, and I want to put a new carpet down in there. So that's one thing. I won't say start the living room because that's going to be a summer project. But it would be nice to get the ceiling painted in the bedroom. We're going tomorrow, Friday, so before you see this, so I'll have already been going to Bournemouth University for their open day for our daughter. That is something we wanted to get done and out the way. And Saturday we're going into our local art college to see what they've got to offer. But other than that, don't know. I've been applying for part-time jobs here and there. I mean, I'm trying to get a part-time job, just to give myself a bit of a boost. But I've got to be upfront with my employers, say, look, I've got MS, so I've got this problem, and it may have this impact, that impact, which usually results in a "don't call us, we'll call you" a response. But yeah, no, you never know. If I just do a few hours a week, it'll probably help us out, and help my hobby out. I want to put some money into the channel. I'm seeking funds for that. I'm still this close for my first YouTube payout. I'm like, come on, hurry up! It takes so long. That'll give me a bit of a cash influx to get some material for my channel that I need. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the one main thing I suppose is get our ceiling painted. So painting a ceiling, which is not easy because I'm not supposed to go on ladders, even step ladders, but I'll have to go on like the 2-step one, and just try and work my way around doing that, because my arms aren't that long and I don't like using those extender poles. Just doesn't feel as good, and you got to get around the sides anyway, so yeah, I want to get that done. Painting, but not the hobby kind. Jam Jar 34 says, yet another great episode. Not a hobby question. Have you got something to look forward to in January or plan to do? 3 smiley faces. Something to look forward to. Well, I look forward to doing my hobby every time I sit down. I'm always constantly looking forward to my next hobby session. So there's that. I'm not planning on doing anything in January. Planning on keeping my head down a bit, trying to tighten my belt and try and recuperate some of my lost finances, try and recover a little bit financially, I suppose, because we were hit hard because we went to Florida, as you well know, and we came back. Christmas was right on top of us. We hadn't organised anything, got anything going, and it was difficult. Struggled through Christmas, and now we need this month to kind of claw our way back to where we were, so that we can get back to normal again. But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to anything in this month. Things I'm planning on. Not hobby-wise. I'm planning on doing stuff hobby-wise, but not hobby-wise. Not a whole lot. Not a whole bunch. Just trying to think, because it's, as you know, in England it's wet and cold, so there's not a lot I can do in the garden, really. That's like every lazy man's excuse, I know. And you I know, being in your trade, doing gardening for, you know, other companies and people and that, you know better than anyone. But I like a nice sunny day to do gardening. I'm a fair weather gardener. But I do like my garden in the summer, it's true. I love to grow flowers, different colours, make it look pretty, and I always like a nice freshly cut lawn, to be freshly mown. Sit on the bench. Sometimes the bench that's outside my window at the studio, I've sat on that and built model kits before in the last summer, and that was great, absolutely great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But as for looking forward, like I say, I've got nothing looking forward to or planned to, but I am planning on certain hobby stuff. Other than that, I'm just gonna, you know, keep going as the normal. Can't even look forward. I can't even look ahead to February. I don't know what's happening. You know, it's just craziness. But there you go. All right. The Lone Ranger says, "All right, mate. Been a while, but wondering why you stopped bolt action. As someone who wants to get into it but hasn't played it personally, only watched, what are the worst aspects of the system? The wife would like you to put me off, lol." Well, it shortens your lifespan, so that's a good no. Right, you want me to, what didn't I like about bolt action? Well, there was a few things really. Right, let's start at the beginning. I got into this hobby through Warhammer, like a lot of people did. Quickly found out it was a bit of a money grabbing aspect of the hobby, but by then I was kind of hooked, so it was too late. It's too late for me. I'm caught in that. But I thought to myself, this bolt action malarkey looks good. I like tanks and the models look kind of cool. I'd seen a couple of, I saw a couple on like Beasts of War and places like that, and a couple of people doing it on their own YouTube channels, and they looked kind of cool. Okay, anyway. So I bought, I forget what set I bought now. Germans and Americans? Yeah, Germans and Americans. It was some starter set. And it came with like a farmhouse and some walls and a half track and various other things. And I was like, okay, got your rule book. Right, okay, let's go. No, you need army books now. Army books. Right, okay. What for like each faction, like English, American, Germans? Yeah, you need those. Again, this is starting to sound an awful lot like Games Workshop, you know. What about just tanks? I played just tanks and special book for that. Another one. And so yeah, it was a little bit like I'm not so keen on this. Initially, I thought the game mechanic was cool, where you pick out the dice and you use your turn. What I didn't like was having to buy more dice as you got more men, but I didn't realise until it was kind of too late that bolt action was written and designed to be a skirmish game, small skirmish game. It has escalated way beyond that now, and people are playing huge, massive games of it. Even at my local club, you can't play a small skirmish game of bolt action anymore. It's you've got to have more armies, more men, more terrain, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, it's too big of a money drain. when it comes to other gaming systems, yeah, I mean, I've got Warhammer 40k, yes, and that is a huge money drain. But I don't. When I go to another system, I want like a rule book, maybe one supplement, and that's it. I don't have to keep updating this and this over time, and you know, I just want to get a set of rules, and then whatever figures I want to go with it, whatever scale, and have fun. I don't want to have to keep on updating this and updating that, and that's my concern with War Machine at the moment. Yes, I like the models, and they're cool, but if I go ahead, I mean, I got a small rule book, updated rule book, whatever the latest version is, on a real cheap, way before Christmas. It was a really good deal, so I got that. So I started reading through that. I thought, oh, okay, but I don't want to be like getting all the cards and that, and then having to update them again, or them be updated like in 6 months down the line. But bolt action, I kind of get that feeling that that's what it's going to be. People want more out of it than a skirmish game. They should have gone Flames of War or some other like more epic scale set to match the rules. Yes, you can play bolt action with 15 mil, but it's not designed for that. And another thing, I didn't like the way the models for that game went together to build them. Yes, they look cool, but they were an absolute bugger to build. I had nothing but nightmares trying to build the tanks and the buildings, and even the little men. Trying to get the rifles in their hands to on their arms, just an absolute nightmare. I ended up getting some metal figures for it in the end because I just couldn't be bothered painting them. Building them, because they're too finicky with their little heads and things. I mean, I did an okay job, I thought. I must have done, because I sold it all to one guy, and he was more than happy with it. But yeah, I just thought, no. If I ever go back to Second World War, and you know, it's a possibility, it wouldn't be bolt action. It's too money orientated, I find, and the people that play it are too much like, you know, you got to have this new thing and that new thing, and yeah, not for me. So that's why I washed my hands of it, basically, and I went on to other game systems. Other game systems I'm into and still play. I mean, such as Ronin, for example. One rulebook, that's it. And the updates that have been done, for it, I've been able to have been downloaded as PDFs, and I've not paid for it. It's fine. You know, you can get the mythological creatures download for it. So yeah, you can do that. But one rulebook, like, you know, 10-15 quid tops, and I'm done. And I'll just get the figures and paint them and play. Excellent. But if you get into bolt action, you will find it's a big, huge money drain. I think that's my experience. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but that's what I thought. It's one of those things where you get it, and there's so much stuff for it, you want the next thing always. The latest tank or jeep or whatever it is. You know, like I say, it was not designed for the epicness that people are playing it now. It was designed for small skirmish. That is what it's best at, and those are good games. If you can get games like that, and you can get a circle of people in your local area that are able to do that, then great. Good luck with finding them, but great. Like I say, Warhammer 40k, I know the deal, I know the score, I know what I'm in for. I know the hurt it's going to cause me financially. And I'm prepared for that most of the time. Games like Congo that I'm just getting into, and ACW, I'm finding it's a lot cheaper, and I'm really enjoying it, especially the Congo. But anyway, I hope I've answered your question satisfactorily, to the best of my ability. Right, Moving on. Oh, and I hope, by the way, that Mrs. Lone Ranger is happy with that result. Moving on to Frost and Fists. Okay. Excuse me, it's a long one, so I'm going to have to look to read this. It says, great episode, my friend, as always. Now that I've done one myself, I can understand why you love these so much. These Q&As. The interaction feels quite addicting. Thank you for sharing all those traditions with us. Also, I'm very sorry to hear about your friend. Thanks. I do miss him. He's called Chris. Anyway, to answer your question about the unsubbing problem, here we go. Many theorise that it was something to do with reaching a certain sub number, but this is untrue. Jacksepticeye, I've heard of him, a very popular video game YouTuber, was contacted by YouTube directly because he's been an active voice of concern amongst YouTube. They assured him that this is just a glitch that they're working to solve, and it has nothing to do with a sub cap, so people should not be afraid to sub new channels for any reason. The unsub glitch just happens randomly. I thought it would be that. For next week, if you were to run your own pub and I asked for a Pete special, what are 3 items that might be brought to me? It doesn't matter if all you can make is a basic sandwich, it counts, but I'm willing to bet that you're not that kind of guy. I'm willing to bet that you've got some serious talent here. As always, my friend, thank you for your time. Much love to the fam. Wolf Brother Mythos. Well, serious talent, eh? Well, don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I'm actually a qualified baker. So, I can make pretty much anything that any decent bakery can offer you. I make classic pasties, any flavour you want. I've done all sorts. I've done, traditional steak and onion, cheese and onion, vegetables. I've done beef and ale. I've done pork and apple pasties. I'm talking. I can do pretty much any pasty you want, any size you want. I used to do them with fancy lettering on, like big ones as well for shop displays and that back in the day. Back when I was like a young 20-something young man and I was a baker. So you get a classic pasty of any description. Obviously on the menu will be pasty, and then there'll be sub-menus of many different flavours. I make a fairly good apple turnover as well, so you can have that for your afters. That's like puff pastry with sweet apple sauce in the middle, and like a glaze and sugar on top. You can have that with custard or cream, or just on its own if you want. So you can have that. That's another thing you can have. I do an awesome roast dinner, classic traditional English roast dinner. Beef, chicken, lamb, whatever you like. So that's the meat, potatoes, all the veg, peas, carrots, Sweden butter mash, or a Sweden carrot mash sometimes we have. Did I say gravy? Cabbage, all that stuff. And if you want it, gravy, different types of gravy. You have like whole grain mustard gravy, normal gravy, onion gravy. I also make a nice shepherd's pie or cottage pie, either, depending on what meat you're using, but it's the same process for making it. So cottage or shepherd's pie, I do a lovely one of those, and lovely thick gravy and that, and whatever you want in it, mushrooms, again, veg, cheese, all that stuff. So pasty, apple turnovers, roast, that's 3 already, and the shepherd's pie, cottage pie, as a bonus. So for any of those, they call them, and I bet you'd come back again. There you go, Wolf Brother Mythos. Right, next question is from James Firth Hayden. Says, hi Pete, so kind of you to mention my comment. No worries, if you put it on here I will mention it. I have commented before. It was a while ago, to be honest. I offered you my Salute 2016 figure after watching your Salute video. Oh, I remember you now. I met you whilst you were talking to Mel the Terrain Tutor. I think I made it on one of his or your video. It was a long time ago, I can't remember. Looking forward to the tour. Curious to what's in your boxes. You mean those? Aha! Yes, I do remember you now. It was a while ago though. And as you may know, my memory's not the greatest. So it's kind of a bit of a sieve when it comes to names. I've always been terrible with names. It takes me about a year to get to remember someone's name if I'm in contact with them a lot. But yes, I do remember you now. So thank you for your comment. Hyperion says, another great video, man. Glad you like it. No worries. And we are on to the last question or comment. I can't remember what it is. It's from Midic Beer. Hey Nick. Says, nice video, Pete. I was wondering about having your gaming table permanently set up. Do you find it gets dusty or do you cover it at all? Well, the table's just set up. It doesn't have any terrain on it at the moment. What I was planning on doing was just having a couple of tabletops on top of each other, maybe a couple of mats. But at the moment I've just got green felt on there. So what I'm planning, on doing is when I set up a game on it, when I'm finished, I'll just remove the pieces and the terrain and then set up another game or a different game. So it won't, hopefully it won't have a chance to get dusty. To be honest, it doesn't seem to get dusty out here anyway. I've checked my shelves, I kind of rub the things. It doesn't seem to get all that dusty, and I suspect it's because of my dehumidifier. I've got a huge dehumidifier which just constantly sucking in the air and taking out the moisture. It's not going out at the moment because you would hear it if it was on. It comes on automatically when it reaches a certain humidity. You can set it to what you want it to be. But I turn it off for these videos because I don't want it interfering with the audio. So, in answer to your question, no, it doesn't get dusty because it doesn't. Well, nothing seems to get dusty out here. That's not to say it will never get dusty. I'm sure it will eventually, but I don't plan on leaving terrain and whatnot on my tables for that long. So, yeah, there's going to be some Congo stuff set up on it in the near future, so I can show you what I've got and on what stage I'm at with it. So hopefully that will happen soon. I've got a couple more pieces of terrain to make for that game anyway, so hopefully running alongside my current figures. Although I don't have enough figures to run a game here as yet, I still need to get African tribes or the African kingdoms, forest tribes, or the Sultans of Zanzibar or whatever they're called. I can't remember now, but yes, Zanzibarian Sultanate. Actually, bear with me. Got my Congo book here now. So what? The factions again. So we've got Forest Tribe, Sultanate of Zanzibar. That was the one I was trying to think of. So yeah, so White Men Expeditions, Sultanate of Zanzibar, two shooty ones, Forest Tribes, and African Kingdoms. And from what I understand, there are going to be more updates faction wise to that, and you can just use the Wargames Foundry figure sets or individual packs for that, so that's good. And that's it. That's all my questions, comments, whatever. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a very enjoyable P&Q. And don't be shy, leave your comments or questions down below for next week. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. By the way, I'm recording this on Thursday because tomorrow I'm away in Bournemouth, so I've got to do it today. So if you put a question or comment down on Friday and it hasn't been read out, it will happen on the following one, okay? See you guys on the next one. Remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now.